everybody, welcome back to Crash Blade Gaming. I am your host Crash, and we are taking a look at another EX that I have not covered yet in Tinkaton EX, a big hammer of a Pokemon doing tons of damage. However, it is a little bit inconsistent sometimes, kind of hard to get the ball rolling on the deck, so it's a fun deck to play if you like just having large hands and not being disrupted by Iono. This is the deck for you, so let's go ahead and get to the Pokemon question of the day. Let's just jump into last video's question. Which item card allows you to evolve your basic Pokemon into their stage 2? And if you were like the commenter FrostyLosty, you went ahead and guessed the Rare Candy item card, allowing you to skip your stage 1 evolution going straight into stage 2. We see this card played a lot now in the current meta because there's a lot of stage 2s that are good, especially with the EXs. So, congratulations to FrostyLosty, that gives you a point as well. So now we have 2 people with 1 point as of the recording of this video. So keep up the work. The point totals will always be in the description down below so that you can keep track of what's going on. So, this video's question is another item card. This item card allows you to switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active, and it allows you to switch one of your Pokemon into the active spot as well. Go ahead and put the name of the card in the comment section down below. And remember, your goal is to get to 3 points. Once you get to 3 points, you either win the first or second place prize, and you get a point for simply just answering the question correctly. So go ahead and put your answer in the comment section down below. And while you're there, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We're on the road to 500. I would greatly appreciate it if you come on and join, especially if you enjoy the content. And if you do, leave a like on the video. And yeah, that's the question. Put in the comment section down below. Tinkaton EX is a stage 2 300 HP psychic Pokemon with 2 attacks, but really we're only focusing on the big hammer attack for 2 colorless energy, does 30 damage for each card in your hand. So how does this deck work? Well, we have 2 copies of Milotic here, Feebas Milotic with the Do Guard ability. Of course, whenever our opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, it prevents all the effects of that card done to our hand. So things like Iono and Roxanne do not take effect onto us. We don't have to shuffle our hand, so we get to keep our hand, which is great. 1 copy of Manaphy here, because Radiant Greninja will destroy this deck, of course. Then we have a copy of 4 Tinkatinks. I believe we only have 1 Tinkatuff. Let me double check. And we got 2 Tinkatuffs. And then we have a 3 line of both Tinkatunks here. Tinkaton. This one has the Gather Materials ability, allowing us to discard a card from our hand. And if we use this ability, we can draw 3 cards. And also has the Special Hammer attack. If it has any special energy attached, this attack does 90 more damage, but we only care about the 90 damage. There is a card out there that blocks EX Pokemon from attacking, so I threw in a couple of basic energies to get rid of that. We already talked about EX. We also have a copy of Radiant Jirachi in here. I figured we're playing double turbos anyways. No other Radiant really does much in this deck, so let's go ahead and throw in Radiant Jirachi. Has the ability Entrusted Witches. When it's knocked out, you get to search your deck for 3 cards, put them in your hand, so any 3 cards you need, and the Astral Misfortune attack, which we can use if we flip 2 heads. Our opponent's active Pokemon is KO'd, so Radiant Jirachi does some work there. Let's go into the item cards. Not playing that many item cards. We got 4 Battle VIP Pass, 1 Heavy Ball to get our cards out of the prizes, 4 Nest Balls, so we really need to get our basic Pokemon into play. We're playing 4 copies of Rare Candy, of course, so we can evolve into our Tinkatons, 2 Path to the Peak, 2 Artazon, I believe. Yeah, 2 Artazon, 2 Switch, and 1 Rescue Carrier. I know Path to the Peak does show off Radiant Jirachi, so be careful when you're doing that. You kind of want Radiant Jirachi's ability. And down to the supporters, we have 1 Arven. Whoa! My mouse double clicks sometimes, it's annoying. Anyways, 1 Arven allows us to search for a Pokemon tool and an item card, but in specific, we're just probably going to be using this to get the Rare Candy. We do not play any Pokemon tools, but you could throw one in if you want to. Playing 3 copies of Avery for a little bit of disruption on our opponent's side. 1 copy of Boss's Orders, 1 Cheryl, which is really good. We only need to attach 1 energy to usually attack with our Tinkatons. And if you have enough energy left over, a Cheryl can turn the tides in some matches. Tinkaton is very hard to one-shot. 4 copies of Corus's Experiment. Basically, we look at top 5, we draw 3 of them, which is pretty good. 1 copy of Iono, just in case we need to Iono our opponent, we can. We have that there in the early game. 1 copy of Jacques here to search for 2 evolution Pokemon. Really good in the early game as well to set up our Pokemon. 1 copy of Clara here, which is good. Clara can turn into 4 cards. So Clara can get you 2 Pokemon from your discard pile and 2 basic energy. We play exactly 2 basic psychic energy, so if they are in the discard, that's just basically a free 3, 6, 9, 12, 120 damage that you can, no, sorry, an extra 90 damage because you lose the Clara and replace it with 3 others. We also have 1 copy of Miriam here just to shuffle back in some Pokemon just in case they get knocked out early, which tends to happen in this deck quite often. 1 research. We're only playing 1 research because we actually don't want to discard our hand, but research is really good in the early game as well, so that's why we have it in here. And Thorton is an awesome supporter for this deck. It basically says your Radiant Jirachi, your Feebas, or your Manaphy can all turn into Tinkatinks, and then you can evolve it into a Tinkaton, and your opponent will not see that coming. So Thorton is a really good supporter in this deck as well. Gives you an extra out to a Tinkaton EX. 4 copies of Double Turbo Energy, and as I said, 2 copies of Basic Psychic Energy. And the goal of this deck is really just to set up your Tinkatons as fast as you can, get Milotic out, and then just run over your opponent with Big Hammer. And you can afford to lose some Tinkatinks and some single prizes early, so go ahead and do that, and then Tinkaton EX just comes in and sweeps with the hammer. That's what this deck is designed to do. Let's go watch it in action. Alright, we start with the Feebas. Our opponent starts with the Manaphy, and thankfully we drew that Chorus's Experiment. That will help us out next turn. Let's go ahead and get a Tinkatink down. And we can attach a Double Turbo Energy there and end the turn. Next turn we could also ascend into Milotic with this basic energy we have in our hand. Be pretty cool, especially if we can get a switch off of Chorus's Experiment. But I don't know if we'll be doing enough damage for that to truly matter on our next turn. So we'll see what happens. Boss orders escape rope. Maybe they'll Iono us. Wouldn't want to get Iono. Ooh, this is Goodra. Goodra is a good matchup. We should be fine. Eventually we're going to be hitting a smokingly large amount of damage, so it shouldn't be too bad. They're going to switch into the Comfy. Honestly, I don't have to worry too much about this. It's going to take them a few turns to attack, especially if they only have 1 Comfy this turn. I believe we saw Chorus's Experiment, correct? We did, so they're down 1 Chorus. An Ultra Ball gets rid of Path and Pokegear, which is fine. They get themselves another Comfy, and I don't believe they flower selected just yet, but here it is. And they get rid of a Battle VIP Pass. Interesting. I wonder what card they chose to keep over Battle VIP Pass. There's a Water Energy. Ooh, we do have to watch out for Greninja. Greninja can come and wipe our bench. I know Goodra may play Greninja here, so we have to be careful about that. And they are already at 4 cards in the Lost Zone, so next turn they may be able to get a Mirage Gate off and Goodra attacking. It's a lot to ask for them, but nah, you never know. Tinkaton. Alright, let's go ahead and Chorus's Experiment. Let's see. Definitely want this, and I think we want the Miriam. Don't really need much else. Let's go ahead and Nest Ball for another Tinkatink. And I don't think we're going to Rare Candy just yet, because we have the Tinkaton in hand, so I think we're going to go ahead and ascend here. And hopefully Milotic has... Oh, it only has 2 retreat cost. Bummer. That's not good. I was hoping it still had 1 retreat cost, but okay. Well, worst case scenario, it gets KO'd. We have Miriam. We also have Tinkaton that we can Rare Candy into. There's a Goodra. There's the Chorus's Experiments. They could possibly attack this turn. And hopefully we can start drawing... Ooh, they get rid of a Mirage Gate. They need 1 more card to be able to have a Mirage Gate active. And unfortunately, if they get themselves down a Radiant Greninja, this game might be a little bit over. Flower selecting from our opponent will put them at 7. Are they able to get down a Radiant Greninja? I sure hope they are not. There's the Mirage Gate. Okay, so no Radiant Greninja, Mirage Gate onto Goodra. Do they have an attack this turn? Kind of hoping they do have an attack this turn so I can use Miriam, which would be awesome. We can go in with Tinkaton EX as well. Jet Energy onto the Goodra, so they do have an attack this turn. Rolling Iron, they have another Mirage Gate for the Goodra on the bench. Good for them. That's awesome. They are all set up and ready to go. I don't think we have to worry about a Radiant Greninja anymore. So this is really good. I think we're going to go ahead and Miriam first, so I can see what I have before I evolve my Pokemon. Because I would need a second Rare Candy for this to work out how I want it to. A Battle VIP Pass, okay. Let's go ahead and Miriam then. Let's obviously put back in these 2. See if we can top deck another Rare Candy. We don't. We do have Path to the Peak, which is important for Moisture Star. Okay, so then let's go ahead and Rare Candy into Tinkaton EX. I don't want to miss the attack this turn. We're going to be doing 110 damage, so we're not going to be doing much, but we can do Tinkatuff, and we can play Path, and then we can just Big Hammer for 50, which doesn't seem like much now, but it does set up Goodra for next turn. We can play down Tinkaton. Hopefully we get into another supporter to get us to draw a couple more cards here, and then we should be able to kind of set up and go from there. Another Water Energy down onto the Goodra. We're going to get hit for 200 here. And hopefully we can draw into enough cards to get the KO, but it's going to be a little tricky. A switch. It's not good. We'll go ahead and evolve. Gather some materials. Get rid of Battle VIP Pass. Hit a supporter. Avery is a good supporter. Artazon's also a good stadium, but then I give them access to Moisture Star. There's another Tinkatink and a Feebas. I do have to see how much damage they're doing. 170. We need 220, so we're not quite going to get the KO, so let's go ahead and throw things down. We can keep the double turbo in hand, and we're just going to go ahead and hit for 110, unfortunately. But as long as we find a Rare Candy next turn, we should be able to get another attack off. Our opponent can't use Moisture Star just yet, so that Gather Materials really helped us out, set up for next turn. We get that Avery, couple things. Ooh, they do have access to Moisture Star now, but that's okay. That gives us Artazon, which could grab us another Tinkatink, which is fine. They are going to use their Moisture Star, which is okay with me. And they're going to go up 2 more prizes here. I'm not too worried. They only have 2 Goodras. They still have to go through another Tinkaton, actually. So we should be okay. Let's go ahead and gather materials. We'll get rid of the Manaphy. That's fine. Tinkaton EX, Jock. No really good supporter here. Let's go ahead and play the Nest Ball. Could try a Radiant Jirachi play, which would be fun. Let's try a Radiant Jirachi play. Let's do this. Let's go double turbo. Switch. Let's play the Artazon, and we can get down another Tinkatink. Sounds good to me. And then we can Jock here. Grab these 2. I suppose that's all we have. Milotic. And Astral Misfortune. See if we flip the double heads. Double heads? What heads? 2 heads! Radiant Jirachi, my boy! Taking out the Goodra. Who cares about your Moisture Star? Doesn't matter. Let's get out of here. We get a couple prizes. Love that Radiant Jirachi play. Now all we are missing is an energy for our Tinkaton to attack. They do... Let's see. If they don't KO Radiant Jirachi, which they might, they could boss around it. The best thing for them to KO would be the Tinkaton that is drawing me some cards here, because we are... Ooh, they are going to go for... Okay, Tinkatink, that's fine. We have Thorton, so it doesn't really matter too much. As a matter of fact, if we draw Rare Candy, we can Thorton this Radiant Jirachi into Tinkaton EX and possibly get a KO. Which would be hilarious. Actually, I have Arvin for Rare Candy. Okay, let's go ahead and gather some materials. Get rid of a Battle VIP Pass. Path to the Peak Energy. Okay. I can't Thorton and do this at the same time, so let's go ahead and Artazon, see what we got. Another Feebas. We'll leave Feebas in the deck. Don't have another Tinkatink though, but we do have Thorton, which is fine. Path to the Peak doesn't matter anymore. So how much damage would we be doing? I think we're doing enough. Let's go ahead and Arven and get that rare candy. Rare candy into Tinkaton. And let's go ahead and do an Astral Misfortune here. See if we flip double hits again. Is this going to turn into Radiant Jirachi? Oh my goodness! Radiant Jirachi, bro! We don't even have to use Tinkaton. Oh my god. No Gudras for you. Radiant Jirachi says, I don't care about anything. We'll take prizes 1 and 6. Avery is a good supporter to have. Wow. Just wow. Radiant Jirachi is just solo carrying us. And we're going to be able to take the KOs for the rest of the match. We can grab Rescue Carrier if they choose to KO this Radiant Jirachi. Our opponent's going to go ahead and use Artazon. Get down another crit rant. But Radiant Jirachi is single-handedly taking out the Hisuian Gudra V-Stars. And just saying, it doesn't matter how much damage reduction you do. I don't do damage. I just knock you out. That is some sick stuff there. I love Radiant Jirachi. Every time I play Double Turbo Energy, I should just put a Radiant Jirachi in the deck. I don't care anymore. It's just so good. They play Path to the Peak. Fine. Fair. And that does shut off Radiant Jirachi's ability, which is okay. We can possibly get into the Rescue Carrier on our own. We have Double Turbo in hand for Tinkaton to go ahead and do some more damage. However, our opponent probably has Boss's Orders and they're going to KO us anyways. So let's go ahead and Avery and gather some more materials here. Rare candy stuff, okay. Let's go ahead and attach the energy. And then we just do ourselves a big hammer for 430 damage. However, our opponent probably has another boss. Actually, boss doesn't matter. You're only doing 110 damage. And we have Switch in hand. They did play one Boss's Orders. So yeah, actually, boss doesn't matter here. They only do 110 damage. I have Milotic in place, so they can't use Roxanne or Iono. I have Switch and Energies in hand, so we are set. Our opponent concedes, and that is how Radiant Jirachi is still in the show. Ooh, Mimikyu. Uh-oh. How are we going to get around Mimikyu? Let's go ahead and play the Nest Ball since we have... Well, I guess Radiant Jirachi can get around it. Let's put down Feebas since we have Milotic in hand and pass the turn. Huh. Maybe we can attack with Tinkatuff? We do have access to Tinkaton. Okay. So we can get around Mimikyu. We have to have a Tinkaton ready to go. So hopefully we can do that. This is going to be tricky for us because we didn't have the first turn Psychic Energy attached here onto a Tinkatink. And you put 7 damage counters on your opponent's active. So that's going to be tricky for us. Hopefully we can chorus into something nice. Or top deck it. Manaphy, okay. Last resort we can retreat into Manaphy. Let's see. There is a Tinkaton. Let's get the EX and Course's Experiment seems good. Let's go ahead and Rare Candy into you. And gather the materials, getting rid of Manaphy. Hopefully we can find an energy. We don't. We do find more rare candies though. And we'll pass the turn here. Can't really do much with this Mimikyu in the active. Unfortunately, I also don't have any more Tinkatinks. I'm just going to call them all Tinks. I don't have any Tinks on the bench so that I can evolve my Tinkaton EX. Would be nice for it to take a couple hits off of this Mimikyu because I have Cheryl. So I would be able to heal all that stuff off anyways. It's going to be a little tricky for us. Do have access to Ghost Eye now. We might have to switch into Milotic. Radiant Greninja coming down. It's going to be tough. Of course, the Boss's Orders? Okay. I'm actually fine with this. If I can get our Psychic Energy off the discard here, we'll be good. Ooh, they go into Shining Arcana Gardevoir, which does not have a way to KO us just yet. Another Level Ball gets them another Ralt, which is fine. Milotic can take a hit, which is perfect, and then at some point we can Cheryl away the damage. So I'm fine with this as well. We do have switch. They have wasted the boss's orders to me, so double turbo energy. Okay, let's go to Chorus. Jirachi, Tinkatink, Tinkatuff. Can now go into Jirachi, which is nice. Let's get rid of Tinkatuff because I can recover that next turn. There's an energy for Tinkaton. Or should I just go Radiant Jirachi? Let's just go Radiant Jirachi. Because why not? Radiant Jirachi's got that Astral Witch Fortune, which is just the best attack ever. Heads? Heads? Oh boy! Radiant Jirachi, get out of here, BBQ. Bye-bye. We'll take a prize for that. Radiant Jirachi, once again, getting the problem Pokemon out of the way for us. A double turbo off the prizes is good. I probably should have checked that. So now we are set, ready to go. We can discard something next turn. I don't know what yet, but we can evolve into Tinkaton EX and just straight up destroy this Gardevoir. If we want to. I actually want them to KO Radiant Jirachi, so I don't mind. Ooh, that Cresselia is going to be a bit of an issue if they get a Gardevoir out. So maybe I do play Path to the Peak next turn. No Gardevoir EX is going to come out yet, since they evolved into Kirlia. They get rid of Gardevoir EX. I guess they have multiple in their hand, which is fine with me, but at this point I don't think we really realistically need the Entrusted Wishes ability, Temple of Sinnoh, so we definitely are going to be playing Path to the Peak this following turn. And I don't want to waste my switch because Jirachi can just carry us for now. I'm not in a rush to get KOs yet. Palpad, did they put back in Worker? They did, so they do have a Stadium Bounce on Path, but we definitely want that Temple of Sinnoh out of here since we heavily rely on our double turbo energies. However, KOing this Gardevoir doesn't seem too bad. Okay, well, let's go ahead and gather materials, get rid of that Battle VIP Pass that we just drew. Avery seems good for another turn. Let's go ahead and Chorus here. Tinkatink, of course. EX, of course. Ooh. That second path might be worth it. Do I need... What's in my lost zone? Tinkatuff. I think I can do without another Tinkatink. No, I think I need a Tinkatink. I have another EX somewhere. Let's do that. That's fine. Let's go here. Let's go Rare Candy, Evolve. Play the double turbo here. Path. And you know what? We're going to get aggressive. We're not going to attack with Radiant Jirachi. We're going to go ahead and come in with the big hammer, KOing this Gardevoir. Path to the Peak is play, so Gardevoir EX is going to have a hard time too. And we're probably just going to be able to one-shot Gardevoir EX as well. Battle VIP Pass is a solid prize. We can use Tinkaton to get rid of that. We have Rescue Carriers. We are set. I could Rescue Carrier back that Tinkatuff to evolve, but I don't necessarily see that we need it. Avery would be a good supporter if I was able to use it. For them, having more Pokemon on the bench would be fine. It doesn't seem it's going to be that way. Do attach an energy to Cresselia. They do have Gardevoir EX. They could take out our Milotic, which will make the Rescue Carrier play even better if they are able to do that. There's a Super Rod from our opponent. Grab back in a few things, I'm sure. The Gardevoir line. Okay. Did they Rare Candy into that Gardevoir? I think so. They boss up the Milotic and pass the turn. I guess they think I don't have ways to get out of this. Let's go ahead and gather some materials, get rid of this Battle VIP Pass. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and I lost zoned 1, right? Believe I did. No, I lost zoned a Tinkatuff. Tinkatuff is in the discard, so we should have one more Tinkatink. We do. Do we have another EX? We do. Okay. I guess we're just going to play the switch then. And we don't have to actually draw any more cards, so we're just going to go and Big Hammer, take the KO. I guess I could have drawn more cards to find a boss, but we're not there yet. Another Feebas is good to see. And we are single-handedly just taking this Gardevoir deck down. That Radiant Jirachi getting rid of that Mimikyu is priceless. They are going to find a Mimikyu though, so we want to be able to KO at least one more Pokemon before that Mimikyu comes out. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to attach this energy to the Tinkaton, simply to handle that Mimikyu, and our opponent concedes, so just like that, the hammer is bringing down the pain. Alright, going up against some kind of a grass deck here with the Shaman. We got a Battle VIP Pass to start, which is good for us. Get down double Tinks. Then we can also Nest Ball here to grab our third Tink. I guess we prized one, which is okay. We can attach double turbo to this guy and pass the turn. Let's see, depending on how many Pokemon they put down, we can either play Avery or we can play Chorus. We'll see what happens. Get an Arven. And we'll see what we get off of those guys. A Battle VIP Pass. They don't have any tools. Or if they do, it's already in their hand. So Battle VIP Pass gets them at least 2 Pokemon down, which is good for Avery's power. If it comes to that. They also have to put a couple more down, so we might just hold on to Avery. Chorus's Experiment, get a couple things going. Tarantula. Uh-oh. Energy onto the Shaman. They can flap for 30. Gosh darn it. Feebas, why you gotta be so weak? Oh, that's a bummer. Little Feebas, I should have retreated it. I didn't realize that Shaman could just KO it. Alright, Tinkatink, time for you to shine. Path to the Peak is good. Let's go in Chorus here. Maybe we can get what we want. Holy cow. Okay. I guess we get this, because can't lose any of those guys. And we can get another Nest Ball, I suppose. Let's go here. Let's play the path. And I don't want to attach energy anywhere. We'll wait. We'll scrap pickup. Get ourselves a Nest Ball. That'll get us a Radiant Jirachi or a Feebas again. So I think we'll go for Feebas. We can Avery next turn. We can start attacking with Tinkaton, which is nice. If they don't boss, okay, good. They didn't boss. They could have bossed. Good thing they didn't. Path to the Peak is in play, which is good. That shuts off the Spite Ups and all that stuff. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. We should be able to take a KO on the Shaman, actually, which is nice. So we'll come up with Tinkatuff, and we should be able to take a KO here, playing Avery and a bunch of other cards. So we'll evolve. Fortunately, Avery doesn't get us what we want, but we'll Avery. Let's see, we're doing 270. That puts us at 220. If I play another card, minus 30 puts us at 190. So we should be fine. Let's go Feebas. And we hit exactly 190 with the big hammer, so we are able to KO the Shaman. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have hand disruption because we have Milotic in hand. We should be set. They chose not to move the energy. Interesting. Why would they not move? Well, oh, they did. I guess Lilligant, I thought Lilligant had an energy on it. I must be mistaken. Very, very mistaken. Okay, they promote the Spite Ops. It can survive Tinkaton. Not anymore, right? I don't think it could. As long as we can play the Milotic and Chorus's Experiment, we should have enough to KO the Spite Ops. And then we should just kind of sweep from there, and that's what this deck is going to do. Another Ultra Ball from our opponent that could get them a little getting V-Star, but the V-Star ability does not do anything. They had the Shaman V-Star in hand. Okay, and I think we should be able to wrap it up from here. I don't see any way for them to win once we get Milotic in play. However, they haven't played a supporter just yet. They did discard a Gardenia. Why is this not coming up? Okay. Played a Gardenia. They didn't hit any grass energy, so I think we're fine. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. We'll draw a card. We'll play Chorus. Yeah, we got this in the bag. We'll be able to KO Spite-Ups, no problem. Sorry, Chicken Pants. Oh, escape rope. Can you attack? Okay. Can't attack with anything, so Feebas is safe. But that does force me to play an additional card. And take a single prize on Radiant Venusaur. Which is fine, actually, because now I know I can KO Radiant Venusaur. Maybe I top deck a boss, but I don't think playing boss will allow me to KO one of the cards. Another Battle VIP Pass. Let's go ahead and attach the energy to Feebas. Retreat into the Tinkaton, of course. Chorus's Experiment. Rare Candy is good. Harvin is good too because I can get another Rare Candy and Rescue Carrier. Rescue Carrier can turn into 2 Tinkatinks at some point. Let's evolve here. Rare Candy, of course. And get rid of the Battle VIP passes. I got rid of my Heavy Ball, didn't I? Lost owned it. Yep. Dang it! I know I had a Tinkatink in the Tinkaton. No, Tinkatink in the prizes. That's okay. No need to play the Radiant Jirachi just yet. We can wait on the Rescue Carrier. We're not going to get one shot, so we can just Big Hammer for 280. Take a KO here. Maybe we get a Tinkatink off the prizes. No, prize number 5 is my jam. Stop it. Prize number 5 is my jam. Yeah, well, Rare Candy's not too bad. Alright, so next turn we're going to Rescue Carrier, get back another Tinkatink so that I can turn it into a Tinkaton EX at some point. But also, to be honest, if we top deck a Cheryl or we find a Cheryl off of our guys, then we're set. Actually, how much damage are you doing? I didn't even realize. So you're doing plus 120, so you're actually half hitting me. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, let's go ahead and gather materials, get rid of the Battle VIP Pass, possibly get a Cheryl, which will be great. We got the Cheryl. Oh my goodness. We're going to play the Cheryl. We're going to heal the damage. We're going to attach another energy. And we're just going to bring down the Big Hammer. Get the Spite-Ups out of here. And unfortunately, we were able to set up whilst our opponent was not. And so they were hoping we could take the KO so that they can come back and KO us with Lilligant. But they weren't expecting the Cheryl play that I had in hand off of the draws from Tinkaton. Now, our opponent could boss up one of my Pokemon and get us stuck in the active. That is definitely a play they can do. But they are just going to parallel spin, so that'll do it for another Tinkaton win here. Being able to outsmart our opponent with the 1 copy of Cheryl we play. And we're going to bring down the Big Hammer for 430 damage for another dub. Sweet. We got a prize here. What was the last prize? Thorton. Thorton's a good card in this deck. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching me bring the hammer, the Big Hammer, down on all of my opponents here, just massively destroying everybody. And not just bring down the hammer, but we're also bringing in misfortune with this deck too, with Radiant Jirachi being able to steal some of this video's light from the Tinkaton EX, which is, you know, a little bit saying something when you got a coin flipping Pokemon doing a little better than the EX Pokemon. But whatever, here we are. But anyways, once again, thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on the video, and we will see you next time on Crash Blade Gaming.